Welcome into the Wilbur and Gold Show. I don't know if you noticed, but I am so fired the fuck up. I mean, like, the fuck up. A lot different than the last episode, considering the last episode, I was essentially half dead. It had been a long day. It was like pushing 11, I think it was like pushing 11 o'clock, which, that's not late to some people, but that particular day I'd gotten up early, like really early, and I'd been at it all day. And I don't know, I was just dragging, but I really wanted to do a show anyway. Not tonight. Not tonight. Because, like I said, I am fired up. It's episode 16 of the Wilbur and Gold Show. I'm your host, Will Dalton, a.k.a. Wilbur and Gold. I got fresh breath. I just brushed my teeth, and then even popped a breath mint, an icebreaker after that, because I wanted to be squeaky clean. I don't know. I feel good. I brushed my... Not that that's like... Oh, he finally brushed it. I brush my teeth all the time. But I don't know. I feel good after I brush my teeth. I don't know. I feel good. It's like the little bow on top that I'm just 100% ready to go. And then I popped in a breath mint even on top of that, which maybe that kind of defeats the purpose of brushing your teeth, because you're putting something on your teeth because you're eating something right. I don't know. The point is, we're ready to go on a Monday. Episode 16, the Wilbur and Gold Show. Oh man. Let's see here. What's going on? What how was your weekend? As I currently have goose egg in the comment section. I'm talking to the nobody right now. Yeah, what's going on this weekend? Did an episode just more like an hour ago, of the show that I do for Chris Landry Football Twitch channel, ACC Tailgate. Be sure to go check that out. Talked little Carolina Wake Forest, talked Virginia Tech Miami, talked about the possibility that the Jets may not take Trevor Lawrence, even though it's a slim chance. Like, come on now. But I mean, you never know. I mean, the Jets might say screw it. They might say, let's trade away that number one pick, get all the stuff we could possibly get for that, and then build around Sam Darnold, get rid of Adam Gase, bada bing, bada boom, all up in the room. And you might have a situation, but I don't know. Me personally, I think moving on from Sam Darnold and going and getting Trevor Lawrence, getting rid of Adam Gase also, by the way, I personally think that would be good for both the Jets and Sam Darnold. I think Sam Darnold needs a change of scenery. Nothing wrong at all with Sam Darnold, by the way. I think he's very good. It's hard to say again because he's been in that Jets culture all these years, and I don't think he's the type of talent that here. You know what? Let's start there, because that's actually been kind of an ongoing debate amongst people in sports media or just sports fans in general, Jets fans, Clemson fans. I definitely think the Jets' really bad culture has had its effect on Sam Darnold. And I think there's been an ongoing debate of, all right, well, if it's happened to Sam Darnold, then wouldn't it happen to Trevor Lawrence? To that, I would say no, because I think Trevor Lawrence is so much better than Sam Darnold, and he's just such a talent that he could overcome, which is hard to do, by the way. I mean, there's not many players where you can just say they're so good that they could overcome even a bad culture. That's pretty hard to do. But I do think Trevor Lawrence is in that category to where it wouldn't have the toll on him that it would have for most players, if that makes sense. I don't think the culture is going to remain that bad. I don't think the culture is going to remain that bad when Trevor Lawrence is most likely there, mainly because I think they're going to clean it up to try and persuade and make it as rosy as possible for Trevor Lawrence. So we'll see how that plays out. Something else going on actually right now. So the Houston Rockets are in full breakup mode, as it seems. You know, they lost, or not lost. They got rid of Daryl Morey. They got rid of D'Antoni, which I think needed to happen, by the way. Russell Westbrook clearly wants out. He's said he wants out. And now it's pretty obvious, even though the new head coach of the Rockets, when asked by Stephen A. Smith on First Take, I forget his name, when he was asked, you know, hey, is there the possibility that you could be shopping James, I was about to call him James Lawrence. I still got the Trevor Lawrence thing in my head. James Harden. He basically said, which, I mean, again, it's a politically correct thing to say. You know, you're on live TV being asked questions about things inside the locker room. You know, what else? He basically said, you know, nah, James Harden's our guy, and that, you know, which didn't really appear to be the case even before that. It's, you know, it looked like, listen, when it came to the Houston Rockets, they had their shot. You know, back when the Warriors were, well, I say back when the Warriors were the Warriors, and I would argue that they're about to become the Warriors yet again this year, especially if they go out and get a star player, which is probably unlikely, like a Giannis or I don't know. Like, I have a funny feeling that they're going to make a big splash. I mean, they're already going to be good as it is, but they're going to make a splash somewhere along the line. And maybe they'll trade a draft pick. I don't know. But the Warriors, even though as currently constructed, will be back this year. Not obviously the dynasty as when they had KD, but they're going to be back probably in the same form that they were. I would argue those first few years when they went up against the Cavs, you know, before they got KD. But the Rockets were supposed to be the Warrior Killers. They were supposed to be the team in the West that was constructed essentially to take down the Warriors. And they had their shot back when CP3 was there. I don't remember. It was the Western Conference Finals, I'm pretty sure. And I don't remember if it was KD was out or if it was Steph Curry that was out. But I don't remember exactly, but somebody was out. And they had a good shot to take out the Warriors. I'm pretty sure it was a game 6. The Rockets were winning. And then I think, or maybe it was CP3 that got hurt in that game 6 and then was out for the game 7, in which, you know, obviously the Rockets win that. They beat the Warriors and they go to the finals. And then they didn't, obviously, mainly because CP3 got hurt. Yeah, I think that's what. But that right there, that was the first year CP3 was there too, by the way. That was the year if the Rockets were going to get that done. And after that, honestly, much like teams when they have a Super Bowl hangover or something like that, it was like, I don't know. They were really never the same after that. And then obviously it looked like there were some tensions between CP3 and James Harden. So CP3 then, you know, was sent to OKC, who's now actually he's been sent to the Phoenix Suns, which I think is a great spot for him because we already saw Chris Paul is capable of being around a young team, a developing team, and I would argue that the Suns are right there, and maybe CP3 was all they needed to be in the playoff contention picture. But then the Rockets obviously got Westbrook this year. You know, Westbrook and Harden back together for the first time since their Thunder days. And everybody thought, okay, well, maybe this could work. And at times it looked like it could, but then there were too many times where it didn't. And Westbrook, if you know anything about Westbrook, you know he wants the ball. And that whole share that much did not work for him. And so, Russ wants out. He ain't out yet. He's still out there. But it appears that Harden wants out as well. It already looked that way, but it basically was announced this week that he wants to move on. And if the assumptions weren't enough, Woj tweeted something a little while ago where Harden basically turned down $50 million a year. I don't know if I guess just recently he did this. In other words, he was offered a contract that would have paid him $50 million a year. I don't know over how many years. And it would have been the highest paid per year anyway contract in NBA history. And Harden turned it down. In other words, get me out of Houston. That's basically what that meant. You've got an opportunity to make the most per year than any other player in the NBA in history of the NBA, and you turn it down. That is loud and clear. Get me the fuck out of Houston. And it's looking like most likely he's going to go to Brooklyn, team up with KD and Kyrie. He'll be back with KD, since those Thunder days. I forget what year it was that Harden went from the Thunder to the Rockets. It was either 2013 or 2014. But I'm not sure which one. It was one of those years, though. So, yeah, that could be happening here anytime. And me personally, my take, just off the top of my head, it'll be interesting to watch, and it would probably be a fun team to watch if Harden goes to Brooklyn and teams up with Kyrie and KD and DeAndre Jordan and the rest. But I am on the side that I don't think it's going to work. Because I think James Harden is too ball dominant, and KD's going to want the ball, and we know Kyrie's going to want the ball. And if it wasn't going to be difficult, I personally was of the mindset that the whole Kyrie KD thing was not going to work, and I still stay there. I don't think it's going to work. I think they are two all-world talents, all-time talents. Obviously, we know what KD is, and obviously we know what Kyrie is from a talent perspective. But I just don't think their personalities would click. We know KD can be, I don't know. They're just, their personalities, I don't think would mesh very well because they're two players that tend to be a little sensitive, tend to be a little, I don't think toxic is the right word, but it's like, I don't know. There can be a little toxicity in their personalities. I don't know. Like, if you know anything about it, you know what I'm trying to say. Like, Kyrie can be difficult. KD can be difficult. They're both can be sensitive when it comes to the media or people talking, the fans, doing what fans do and talking shit about them on Twitter or whatever. KD with his burner accounts and, there's a little bit of toxicity between each one of them personality-wise. I'm not saying they're not good dudes because I know, they are, but they do have those tendencies. And I don't think it would click. Now, I do think the Steve Nash hire helps. That, to me, put points back in favor of, okay, this could work because I know for a fact KD used to, back when he was with the Warriors, used to work with Steve Nash in the offseason. They would work together. So I think that could help it work. In fact, that could be the very thing that helps it work. But then again, I don't know. We'll see. And now you add James Harden to the mix where he's going to want the ball. And I don't know. Like I said, they're going to be a very good team. They're going to be a very talented team. They're going to be a very fun team to watch. But I don't know. I personally just, they're going to be good and talented and fun to watch, but I don't think it's going to work in the end. And that's just where I'm at on that. So Kirk Cousins, Vikings, and Bears play tonight, I think. Monday Night Football. I need the Vikings to lose, which, if Kirk Cousins' performance on primetime in his career is any indicator, that should not be an issue. Mainly, I need them to lose. I need Dalvin Cook not to play well because I'm in a tight match right now in fantasy this week. Mainly in part to the fact that Travis Kelce, one of my tight ends, he was on a bye week. And because I already have, I guess I'm to blame for this because I'm the commissioner of the league, because you can only have 3 tight ends per team. Well, I already have 3 tight ends because I have my 2 star guys in Kelce and Ertz for the Eagles. And then I have another tight end that I had to fill in for Ertz because right now Ertz is on the IR, so I needed a 3rd tight end. But, so Ertz being hurt is out, and now Kelce being on a bye week is out. And because of the rules of the league, I couldn't add a 4th tight end. So basically, I had to have a slot where I know it's going to be a goose egg. So right now I'm winning. All my players have played, I think. Yeah, all my players are done. So I'm currently winning by about 25, 30 points. And my buddy who I'm playing against has Dalvin Cook. And who else? Let's see here. I'll actually tell you right now who he's got left. Sebastian, talking about you right now. Let's see here. Yep. Oh, it's actually gotten closer. So this ain't good. I'm currently up 199 to 193. I have... Let's see here. Yeah. Okay, so I do have a player left to go. Jimmy Graham, tight end for the Bears. I actually picked him up off the waivers. That was the tight end that I picked up for this week. Yeah, he still got Robinson from the Bears, who currently has 8.4 points. Not good. Jimmy Graham has a fat goose egg. Let's see here. Dalvin Cook currently has 7 points. Vikings are up 7-6. Kirk Cousins is 0-9 on Monday Night Football. Did I mention that? So it ain't looking good. I'm still winning, barely. So I need Dalvin Cook to kind of stink it up, and I need the Vikings to get their ass kicked, and I need Jimmy Graham to go off. So we shall see. But I think that's going to be all for tonight. Just wanted to kind of cover those things and touch base with you guys a little bit here on YouTube. Pretty soon, I haven't posted, which I do have a podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. It's basically where I take these shows and I post them there, just the audio. I also post other things on there, like just exclusive podcasts that I feel like recording just to have some new content for the podcast. I actually haven't posted there in a while. I just haven't, I haven't really done that. But that is something I want to kind of get into more and more. And with that, I would also like to start doing interviews. I would also like to start doing Q&As and interviews with the audience. So what I'd like to potentially do, in fact, I've got an idea for a show, kind of an interview show. I'm not sure yet how I'm going to do it. I'm debating if I want to have 2 separate shows, one where I bring on a guest for the whole time and interview them, and then have a separate show to do like quick little in and out interviews with audience members, or do I want to combine it and make it one just giant interview show? I'm not 100% sure how I want to do that yet, but in getting the podcast going, I do want to start doing interviews because obviously that's a big part of the part of podcasting is having interviews with people and, you know, bringing new people in. And so that's something to look out for. That's something I've got in the back of my head right now. So that's going to do it for a Monday. Appreciate all of you tuning in. Appreciate all of you watching after this is already recorded and out on YouTube. Episode 16 of the Wilbur and Gold Show. I'm Will Dalton, a.k.a. Wilbur and Gold. And we'll see you next time.